Hi guys, we're still busy with simple decay. We're just doing as many as possible different scenarios. So what we're going to do in this lesson, you can read through this at your own time, but what we're going to do here, we're going to take the formula that you already know and we're just going to flip it around and ask different things from the formula. So as I said previously, this page you're going to see a few times because this is very important that you know every letter, and we can just write here again, P is the beginning amount always, and A is the end amount. The same, even if it's decay, it's what you start off with in the beginning, and this is what you end with, the A. And then the I and the N is just the same for both of them. Good. Now, let's just look at this one, simple decay. We already did it. You deduct the interest rate times the amount of years because you need to, the amount needs to decline. So it needs to become less and less because it's depreciation, decay or depreciation. Now there are 4 different variables. As I've said many times in the previous lessons, there's always 4 different letters. 3 of them will be known and the 4th one is the one that you need to work out. So if you look at this formula here, it's the straightforward one, simple decay, everything on a straight line. They also call it the straight line method. And here you can work out the A. If we go to the next pages, we can actually do all different things with them. Sometimes they give you 3 others, not the P and the I and the N. They give you something else. Like, let's just do the A. I'm just going to do 1 or 2. If they rather want the P, you will have the P all alone. So you'll take the A and you'll divide it by 1 minus IN. We can keep it in a bracket, or we actually don't have to, because remember that line there means fraction, but it also means divide, and it also means it stays together. So that line there and the 2 brackets at the bottom means the same thing. So you could have left it out at the bottom. And I'll just show one more. If they want, for instance, the I, 1 minus IN. So if the I is the unknown, here the P was the unknown. Now I must get that I all alone. Now I actually prefer to fill in the figures first and then get the I all alone. I'm just going to show you the method, because remember the method is the same. If you work with letters or figures, doesn't matter. The method stays the same. Firstly, I must get rid of the P. So I divide by P. And then I'm left with 1 minus IN. I do not need the bracket now anymore because there's nothing to be multiplied with. Now I want the I all alone. So I need to get this I all on its own, but there's now a minus in front. We don't like minuses, so I'm going to bring it over here. Then it automatically becomes a plus. I'm going to leave the 1 there, and then I'm going to bring the A over P over this side, because now it's nearly done. And all I need to do now, because I want the I all alone, I need to divide by the N, because if the I and the N stands next to one another, it means multiply. So I must divide 1 minus A over P, and then the N at the bottom. Good. But as I say, I don't like formulae like this. It looks complicated. I prefer, and you'll see just now when we start doing examples, I prefer to use this formula rather, fill in all the values that I have, and then see what is the unknown, because I know there will only be one unknown, and then get it all on its own. So let's look at an example. A new company buys computers and computer equipment for 500,000. You agree with me? They're buying it now because they need it now, presently, present P. They decided to depreciate. The minute I read depreciate, I know it's the minus formula. So let's maybe just make a minus there. The equipment at 20%, that is the I, on the straight line basis. So if it's on the straight line basis, I know that it's going to be simple decay. What will the value of the equipment be after 3 years? So there's my N. So let's just check. There's my P, there's my I, there's my N. So what are they asking me? What will the value of the equipment be after 3 years? After means at the end. So what are they asking me? The A. That is at the end. So let's just go where we've got space. There's everything summarized. Because it's depreciation and it's simple interest, if they don't say, it's automatically simple interest. But most of the times they tell you what the depreciation is, if it's simple or compound. So I'm going to write down my formula. And because it's depreciation, very important, you remember the minus. And you fill in what you have. 500,000. 1 minus the I. was 0.2. I don't need the 0 at the end now anymore, because remember, a 0 after a comma right at the end doesn't mean something. Though if it's cents, rand and cent, you need to write that 0 down. But now it's just the rate. Oh, and I didn't leave space here. So let's just make that in a bracket. Make that for how many years? For 3 years. And I put my big bracket there. So there's my problem. I grab my calculator and I say 500. Remember again to check that you don't press one too many or two less zeros. So rather leave the space in the middle. Bracket 1 minus 0.2 times 3, close your bracket, equals 200,000. Okay, let's just see if it makes sense. We started off with 500,000 rand, and now it's only 200,000 worth. But the interest rate is very high. 20% is very, very high. And that's why it's so much less. It's only 200,000. So it makes sense. It should be less. It should be much less, because it's such a high interest rate over 3 years. Good, that was the one question. After how many years will the equipment be written off? Now, what does it mean when the equipment is written off? After how many years in the end is the equipment written off? When it's worth nothing anymore. So what are they telling you? They're telling you that the A is equal to 0. You agree with me? And what are they asking? After how many years? So they are asking you the N. Good. So it's still the depreciation formula. A is equal to P 1 minus IN. Now I'm going to start filling it in. 0 for the A. Why 0? Because to be written off means it's now nothing worth anymore. Although you can probably, if it's a car, you can still drive with it, but it won't have a value anymore. The P, what was the P originally? 500,000. 1 minus the interest rate was 20%, 0.2. And the N is what my question is. So I do not know what the N is. So I'm going to first divide by the 500,000. Where do I get the 0 from? 0 divided by anything is just 0. Now I need to get that N all alone. Can you see there's a minus in front of the N? I don't like that. So I'm going to bring the 0.2 into this side. And I'm going to leave the 1 there. And then I'm going to divide by 0.2. 1 divided by 0.2. You should be able to do it just in your head. But let's just be safe. Do it like that. And it gives me 5. So after 5 years, if it's such a high depreciation rate of 20%, after 5 years, that equipment will be worth 0. Good. So just remember, if ever they ask you, let's just quickly go back there. If ever they ask you, after how many years will the equipment be written off? Written off means, and we do it with small equipment, not with a car, because a car you can always sell for something. But small equipment at a certain, especially if you're a business, at a certain age, a certain stage, it will be worth nothing anymore. And then we put a 0 there at the end value, which was the A. Good, let's look at example 2. A tipping trailer is traded in on a new one after 8 years. There's my N for 575 rand. Now, let's quickly think carefully. After 8 years, it's traded in for 575 rand. So what is that 575? After 8 years, the end value. So it's the A. You actually cannot get confused between the A and the P. If you know P stands for present, now, A always stands for the end value, you really can't get confused between the two. Depreciation, I'm going to circle it because it's very important that you know it's now the minus formula is calculated at 8.2%. Straight line, it's very important to know. It's simple. What was the purchase price? Purchase price means the present price that you bought it for, the purchase price, after, or 8 years ago. 8 years ago. So let's quickly tick. There's my A1, there's my N, and there's my interest rate. So there's my 3 ticks, and here's my question mark P. That's exactly what I need. 3 knowns and 1 unknown, and I must just pick the right formula. So which formula are we going to pick? The depreciation one. So immediately before we forget, we write down the formula. and we start filling it in. So I've got the A, 575. I haven't got the P. I've got the I, 0.082. I've got the N, 8. Because I want the P all alone, I divide all of that stuff by the 5. I do it both sides. That side, it disappears now. 1 minus 0.082 times 8. Can you see this time I'm not putting a brick bracket around the bottom, because remember what I said previously, that line there means divide, but it also means stay together. Keeping together is just as good as a bracket. So now you grab your calculator, and I'm going to use the fraction button, which is right on the left. So I'm going to put on the top 575, and I'm going to go down with the cursor. 1 minus 0.082 times 8. And just check that you slotted in everything correctly. And I need to press the SD button. So P is equal to 1671 and 51 rand. So that was the beginning amount that I started off with. Let's just check. It's 1,600 roughly. And at the end, it's only worth 575. So it should be much less, because there's interest. It's for 8 years. It's quite long. So it seems like that it's the right thing. Was that the only question? Yes, that was the only question. Good. Let's go to example 3. What would the depreciation rate be? So let's just circle there. Depreciation after 8 years, which is my N. B, if after 8 years the value of the equipment is half the value of the equipment when it was purchased. Now, this is one of those funny ones, so let's just go to a clean page. I start off with the end value is half of what it was when it was purchased. Now, I do not like halves. So that's why I could have said A is a half X, or X over 2. I prefer to write it like that. And P is just X. But can you see then I work with fractions? So I do not like that at all. So I'd rather make my end amount X and my beginning amount 2X, because remember, if I don't have amounts, I just put X in there. That's what we always do in maths. And I'd rather put then my beginning amount as 2X. So what was it, this type of problem? Depreciation. Immediately, you see how easy you forget? You should have written this down immediately. 1 minus IN, because I know it's simple interest and I know it is depreciation. So I'm going to fill in what I have. I have my AX, I have my P2X, I have my N. We didn't write here. The I is the unknown. Remember to always write that down. Is 8. Good. Now I want the I all alone. So I need to get rid of the furthest stuff first by dividing by it. X divided by 2X. On the right-hand side, you'll just be left with 1 minus 8I. And those X's cancel. So there's your half, which I don't like, but in this case, I don't have an option. And now I don't like the minus in front of the I, because remember, I must get I all alone. So I prefer to take the 8I. Just before I carry on, there's always lots of different ways of doing a maths problem. Try and make it as easy as possible for yourself. Fractions cause problems, minuses cause problems. They do. I know that from experience. So you actually don't want to work with that if you don't have to. So if you see there's a minus in front of the I, don't leave it that side and later on get rid of it. Immediately take the thing that you need all on its own alone to the other side, because then it becomes a plus here, which is what we want. And then I leave the 1 here, and then I bring the half over to the other side, which is now very equal, very easy. It's a half. So 8I is a half. To get rid of the 8, I must divide by 8. Now I'm going to show you something, because some people now do this. A half divided by 8, which is really not good, because now you've got 3 figures on top of one another. Now you have to do that tip and times thing. You tip around the bottom one and you multiply with its inverse. So it would be a half times an eighth, which is really complicated. So rather, see what you have got. I've got 1 divided by 2. I need to divide it by another 8. So all you do, you put a point there, and because that line in any case means divide, you just divide by an extra 8. So if you do that, you don't have this complicated thing. So I'm going to just cross it out. Please never do that because it's quite complicated. Rather, if you already have the divided line, just put the 8 with the 2, and remember there's a multiply sign in between. So that would give me 1 over 16. And if you click that on your calculator, 1 divided by 16 equals, I must just press the SD, it equals 0.0625. Now I'm going to write all the digits down because now I need to write it nicely for the normal person to see what was my interest rate. And where's my hundreds? There. So it's 6.25%. And there's your sums answer. Good. Some more exercises for you to practice. You see all the problems are the same. Really, very easy. You should gain a lot of marks in the test or exams for your finance because it's 3 formulae. Pick the right one, fill in the values, and in the end you have your answer. Just make sure that you pick the right formula and that you click the right things on your calculator and don't make silly mistakes. Good. See you next time.